Progressive, baby. You got the insurance?
No insurance
All right.
because we catching butts all year round. Free bus fee for everyone.
I know that's right. Girl, where are we? Is this thing on? Is this thing live?
It is live and recording as always.
I like that. Where are we?
We are here in Tampa, Florida with two boys in bonnets. I paused it. I don't know what happened. My name is Josh, and I'm also here with my gracious host, Dimitri
Hey, y'all.
from Lake Magdalene.
Don't tell them my location.
Okay, sorry, my bad.
What are we talking about today? Why are we here?
We're here today because, we want to give the people a little bit of background. Like, we're going to be freestyling a little bit today. We're always off topic, off the grid, off the radar. So
Oh,
something new.
free chat. I like that.
Mhm.
Well, what do you want? Well, let's start it off. What do you want to talk about?
Okay, so today I was really thinking and I been taking into work in my surroundings. I feel as though I tend to stay back and watch my surroundings and watch, how people are.
Hmm.
And where I fit in is basically like I don't want to be like everybody else. I want to be different. And so with that, I tend to get the left behind effect. But I was thinking to myself, when I get left behind, I also gotta understand that I work harder than everybody else.
Hmm.
You know who works really hard?
Who?
The person who failing.
Why you say left behind? What do you mean by that?
You saw what, girl?
What do you mean by left behind?
Like I'd be like when I say left behind me, okay, everybody's doing something to be noticed, to be seen, to be accepted. I don't want to do nothing to be accepted. I'd be trying to tell people I've had both parents. So to be accepted, I've always been accepted. I don't have to fiend for somebody's attention or love or gratitude. I don't need a thank you or praise you for everything that I do, you know?
Hmm.
But I do work hard because, sometimes I do fail, and that's okay. I always tell people it's okay to disappoint people because if you don't, you're gonna keep programming yourself to think I have to do this, I have to do, I have to, I have to, I have to, I have to be good, I have to be great, I have to do this and that. You're gonna keep pushing yourself to be better than what you are instead of disappoint people. And that's okay. It's okay to disappoint people because you know why? People won't have that high expectation of you. Because once that goes down, that's where the judgment comes. That's
Hmm.
where you can't do that good enough. Oh, that's when you get all those rebuttals and stuff. Because I always tell people don't always hate people. They hate who you are,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah, I want to give you a little bit of insight
Okay.
because you're already validated. You feel validated
No, I don't
because,
feel validated.
well, in the sense of you grew up with two parents now
Yeah.
versus me who grew up with a single parent. So I could talk a little bit about that need to be validated and the need
Mhm,
to be what's the word? The question of am I enough?
mhm,
Because I be doing too much.
mhm,
And I remember I was talking with the therapist. Was like, because I was telling my therapist I've done this, I've done that, I've done X, Y, and Z, and I was telling her what I'm currently doing, and then she asked the question, "But when is enough enough? Are you enough?" And
mhm,
I was like, "I think so because the one thing about because like I've for me I always feel like I gotta be I have to look for the not the next big thing, but like I have to achieve something to feel like I'm worthy enough because that stems from, trying to seek another parent's approval in a way of like this person didn't stay. And then so there must be something wrong with me.
mhm.
So if I achieve something, they're going to look my way and that will make me feel validated. But then it's like, well, when do you stop seeking that validation? Because once you, because like for me, I say it like this, I have a Capricorn moon, And with having a Capricorn moon, you feel driven or dissatisfied. So that means I'll achieve what I want to achieve, but then when I get to the end, I feel dissatisfied because I didn't get the feeling that I want. And so I had to help work through that feeling. It's like, okay, I don't need to set a goal. I can just exist, just to exist and be still and be idle. And that's one of the things I've been like learning for the past 5 years is to be idle, to be boring. Because that's like that's one of the things you feel is when you lack that validation, you gotta be doing something. And if you ain't doing something, you're failing at life. So that's so for you to have that validation, that is so great because I know people like me who don't that, and we try to achieve that validation externally instead of internally. And so, and then we also look to confident people because that's what one of the things that draw me to you because you're confident. And like for me, I'm drawn to confident people because they make me feel it's okay to be confident.
Yeah.
And then also another like flip side, we also get attracted to narcissistic people because we think we mistaken their narcissism as confidence, and so then we get trapped in like in that vicious cycle.
Yes. As far as like confidence go, like I always tell people like, don't look to me for confidence because I can't help you with that aspect, you know. I can't help you. Like I always tell people like my confidence came from me pulling myself out the mud. Because there's a lot of things people don't know about me. I was alcoholic. But you want to know that because I I don't give that, you know? That's what I don't knock people. I don't knock people who do different stuff and who go through it because you never know what a person is going through. And I feel as well like when I went through that, it was because I was going through something and I got tied up with the wrong people and got tied up in the wrong crowd. And with doing that, it caused me to like go down a road that I didn't need to go down. But I had to grab myself, you know? Like, let me tell you something. I used to be late for work every day. I'm
Mhm.
talking about 30 minutes, an hour. Like, I can't get out of bed because I'm fucked up.
Ooh.
Like, I'm fucked up. First thing I want is a drink to like, cause I was drowning my sorrows with drinking. I was
Mhm.
you're finding something drunk. I wasn't doing no drugs, thank God. I'd rather just do the alcohol. That's what like now I don't really need a drink. Like you never see me like drink or nothing, not because I've been down that road, you know. I've been on the road to not like I used to like can't get out of bed. I used to can't do stuff, can't do nothing. Just want to lay in bed. But I had to remember that like you got a house to maintain. You got people who depend on you. You gotta
Mhm.
get up and go. You gotta do something. And so I had to grab myself together and pull myself out. And with doing that, I also had to learn that, like, you know, it's okay to fail. It's okay to show people that you're failing. It's okay to disappoint people because they won't put that high expectation on you and you won't put that high expectation on yourself. Because in the end of that, when all of that happened and all of said and done, I learned that, like, you know, I'm normal.
Mhm.
Cause I always thought like, you know, I was this high pedestal person that, you know, people put me on this pedestal and be like, oh, you're amazing. But I had to learn I'm a human being and I'm gonna fuck up. And I'm gonna do stuff that, you know, is not very demon of me. And so when that happened, I was like, you know what? I'm human and this is not my ending story.
You know, I have an alcohol story as well. I remember when I was in the military, and I love drinking. Like I love to drink, but then I also was responsible. But I was drinking like every day, so like I always had a drink. And so one time I went to the club and I was trying to save money because I was drinking. I was taking drinks, but I forgot to eat. And so when I was at the club, I had one of those Blue Island iced tea.
Mhm.
things. And because I had it before, but it was weak. But when I went to the club, it was strong.
Mhm.
And so with me not eating and dancing, all the liquor hit at once. And so I was outside waiting with a friend, and then I heard the ambulance in the distance, and I was like, I wonder who they picking that ambulance up. And so, but it turned out the ambulance for me. Someone called the ambulance, and they took me to the hospital to get me rehydrated. Fast forward, because I was since I had to go to the hospital get an IV. They notified my command, and so like the following Monday, they were like, "Well, you went to the hospital. You have to take this Prime for Life, which was an alcoholics class." And so I had to go to this class where other people who were doing alcohol abuse, alcoholics, they were like, just got in trouble with alcohol, DUIs, and stuff like that. And so they were telling their stories, their DUI stories, their alcohol abuse stories. And then when it came to me, I was like, oh, yeah, girl, I got drunk at the club. And they just looked at me if I committed a cardinal sin as like I was the scum of the earth.
Yeah.
And I was like, but you got a DUI. You beat your wife. Like what the fuck? And so nonetheless, so yeah, so I after taking that class and learning about having a high tolerance, I really stuck to drinking at my 2 drink minimum. So that's why I don't try to get sloshed with alcohol and stuff.
And that's also very important. So, like, it's okay to be vulnerable. Like, I'm learning now, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to like say your piece and say like what makes you you. Like, looking at me, you would never know that was me. And
No, no.
sometimes it's okay to like say your truth and live in it. I'd rather say my truth and whoever take it and spin it the way they want, they can do that. That's them. That's okay. You know?
Hmm.
Like I always say like you're your best. You're your best when you're open.
Ooh, you're better than me, friend.
You're your
Because,
best a lot.
hmm
You would not have known, but I've been through a lot. Let me tell you something. Like my stress started when my parents separated. Even though I grew up in a two-parent, my stress started when my parents separated, and I was going from like one house to the next. So it was like different rules, different aspects, different things. And now that I'm older, I saw this video of like this girl she was talking about. She said a lot of Aries, like they have a lot of Aries who have two-parent households. They have one parent who cares and the other one who just give up.
mm,
And sitting back, I realized that like that was me. I was that Aries. Like I always had my mom, but my dad, he was like a little shaky. You
hmm
know? And so like how I knew that like it was real, like it was my graduation and like stuff was happening. And it's a different feeling when your parents come to your graduation and they're arguing. It's a different feeling when that's supposed to be the happiest day of your life is like an argument. And like my parents can never find a common ground, you know? And they don't really like talking about stuff, but I like talking about it because this is emotional trauma that I've carried on for life, you know? I
hmm
always like conflict because that's all I saw. And to even be like your own person, like now I'm learning to like, you don't have to argue all the time. You don't always have to pick a fight. You don't always have to like, wake up to argue with your partner every day. Like sometimes you could just talk things out in a normal manner. And I'm learning that. Like people will never know because they don't know who you are. It's what makes you you.
'Cause I am not a vulnerable person.
Mhm.
Um, Not because I don't view vulnerability as a weakness.
Mhm.
I view vulnerability as messy. And here's why. I know we talked before because it came out in the last episode because
Yeah.
when we had that conversation of vulnerability to me is raw emotions. And it can also stem from also watching Pose. And I avoided watching season 3 because I was like, okay, they're about to get super emotional. And watching like Pray Tell talk about his alcoholism,
Mhm.
and when Ricky was leaving him, he said, "Oh, everybody leaves me." So he was just being raw with his emotions, and I had a trigger because I grew up around raw emotions, people having raw emotions, and with me being like an empath, I feel like deeply affected, and I'll be like, "Oh my god, it's okay," just comforting and stuff like that, be sympathizing. And as I got older, I was like, I don't want to deal with that anymore. That's why I live alone. Now for a brief commercial break. They need
Mm-mm.
Jesus. They need to get off this internet.
Yeah, they need to get off the internet with their little nasty ass. And tell that one with the horse teeth, I'm watching him.
Why are you
I
watching
know
the
those.
girl?
I know those teeth aren't real.
Where are you watching them at?
I'm watching him on YouTube, girl. I know his teeth ain't real. I be watching to see that bitch, that
Mm.
plastic face that he got.
Again, when that other one gonna have his baby?
I don't know, girl. He needs to hurry up and have that baby.
Child, he look like he 10 months
That
pregnant.
bitch been pregnant all this season for the past
Girl, that
year.
that baby's a toddler now in his
Yeah, that baby is
body.
1 year old.
Ooh, child, he needs to stay away. He too fertile.
Yeah,
Fertile
but
ass.
but girl, I know where to find them.
Where?
You know, Sniffies, Jack, Hinge, Bumble. That bitch is everywhere, especially that one with the horse teeth. I know I saw him on Jack. He might not say much, but I'm gonna keep stalking him.
Keep at it, girl.
I
Keep
will.
keep me updated on his ass.
Mhm. Sure will.
Hmm.
Matter of fact, let me go and do it right now.
Get him. Get him.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it.
Now, welcome back to the show. But I don't like deal. I just don't like dealing with raw emotions because it's
Yeah.
messy, and it's like, well, I feel like I have to clean it up, and that's why I kind of avoid it as much as I can, and which tends to create a barrier sometimes when I talk to people, because when people ask me, well, Demetrius, how do you feel personally? I end up skidding, but like finagling,
Yeah.
shifting things, so
Yeah.
I don't have to share my personal emotions because I have dealt with so much raw emotions that overlap mine. I just like, you know what, I just keep this to myself and allow other people feel what they feel. And so like when I see people who do raw emotions, and if we don't have a connection,
Mhm.
I'll be like, oh, that's cute. That's cute. Pat on the back, you'll be fine. Whatever. Like you're okay, girl. You're good. But dealing like sometimes like one of the things I work on is like, when someone's having like raw emotions, it's not my job to clean it up. I just allow them to feel and not put in my input and just like, okay, I see you feeling that way. Do you want to talk about it? No, okay, we can just stay here and stuff like that.
Okay, so how my raw emotion come about is because I did a lot of dumb stuff when I was younger. Like I did a lot of stuff. Like how I went down the rabbit's hole is that I got involved with this guy from Atlanta. We were dating. And so, when you involve with people from Atlanta, like I'm not saying nothing about people from Atlanta, but when you involve with people from Atlanta, you tend to like want to like, be like them and like do what they do.
Hmm.
And so he had his best friend. Now, me, I wasn't this Joash back then, you know? And so, I always admire his friend. I was like, oh, you like he was bad. Like when I too bad, like he was bad. Like he always looked good, like always he was an it boy to me,
Hmm.
And so I wanted to be an it boy. And when one day we were chilling, we were talking, like, he was like, he basically told me like, what to do and like, how I could do it. And so one thing I always regret is ever touching my face. That's one thing I always regret is ever touching my face. because I didn't give myself time to time to grow. Like I didn't know that how I was gonna look at 30 years old. But one thing I will regret is touching my face.
Mhm.
You know, I regret fillers. I regret like putting fillers in my face, putting fillers in my nose to make my nose look more black. Cause I didn't always have like, this nose. Like I'll show you like my old photos. Like if I could show y'all the before Joash, y'all would see a huge difference. Like
Mhm.
that Joash was like he would had like I had like more European features than like, black features.
It's true, I see them.
Yeah. I have more European features than black
Yeah.
features. And so well, like I always tell people, once you start with cosmetic stuff, it's hard to get out of it. I could tell you that.
Mhm.
First time I could tell you it's hard to get out of it. Cause like I went down the rabbit hole. I kept going down, just to keep doing stuff to my body that I didn't need to do. And which I can't like I gotta live it for the rest of my life.
Mhm.
And so, I learned that like, sometimes being vulnerable can help somebody else out there. Cause I don't like I always tell people I'm vulnerable because like I don't know who's out there struggling with something. Like, there's like boys out there that, like probably like look like, oh, he's cute, he's fine. Like, baby, I don't want that. I want to like I'm learning to love myself how I am, you know? And I want people to learn to love themselves how they are, you know? Because society puts so much weight on us to be like, top tier and be like, the A boys and everybody love us and all that stuff. I think social media ruins us.
Mhm.
Like
I think
I think that, like, you know what I do in the morning, girl?
well,
When I wake up, I turn my Alexa on and listen to like some stories and stuff. I don't ever touch my phone.
mhm.
Because when you touch your phone, you're letting the internet into your house first thing in the morning. You're letting the world first in your house first thing in the morning because that's the first thing you touch. You even get up and like will thank the Lord for the day, wake up and like do anything, stretch, anything like that. Like I'm like before I used to like every morning and be like, oh, let me just go out there. And I was inviting the world into my house without even
Mhm.
knowing, without even doing anything. You know? Like if we tend to like if we ever like let go of like, the social media strand, like I'd be off Instagram for a while sometimes too. I go incognito all the time and just not like worry about Instagram or anything like that because like I feel as though like, like everything what I've learned is that everything I do, there's somebody else that's watching that's gonna do it. You know? Whether well, I always tell people, I don't really care about people liking my photos because 2 weeks from now I'm gonna be scrolling and I'm gonna see someone with something that I had on.
Mhm.
That's how it works. People don't like me, but they like the idea of me that they have to
Mhm.
go and make their own idea, you know? But
Yeah.
here's what we don't understand is that we have to understand like everything is for everybody. Like I could see you in something and I would like it, but I won't go and buy it because it's not meant for me.
Mhm.
So I say that to say this. Sometimes like it's okay to be yourself, you know? Stop trying to be like what we see in the world, you know?
Mhm.
Stop
To
trying to
be
be like, what is not ethical of you.
I know with like one thing what I learned about doing digital marketing and social media is that social media is not real. Because
Yeah.
like with marketing, they will like learning marketing trends and techniques, you learn that people are not real. Like with the looks you see, the bodies, the face,
Mhm.
they're all modified. Like that's not their real face or body, or they use filters to trick
Yeah.
people. And once I learned that, it's like, okay, they're not even real. So why am I chasing something that's not real? Everything is an illusion. And so while everyone, because like after a while, as you can see on social media, everybody looks alike. They got
Yes.
the same nose, the same cheekbones, the same lips. They do their makeup the same. Everybody's so homogenous. Is that the word? I don't know
Yeah,
if that's
I
the right word.
listen, I've seen like it's so scary that like whenever like my friends see photos, they be like, "He look just like you." I'll be like, "Damn,
No
who do
one's
look alike?"
no one's original. Everyone's
Copy and
afraid.
paste. It's like we always do the same thing, just like copy and paste, please.
Like everyone wears the same outfits. They shop at the same stores.
Mhm.
And that's what kind of like social media can be a good and bad thing.
Yeah,
It's great to gain inspiration, but like you said, you got to make it your own. It's good to like something, but it's not always made for you. And and then after a while, soon it's like originality is gonna take lead again because everyone's such alike. As another thing is, um, because once you figure out everything is illusion, nothing's real, then you be more perceptive to the bullshit. Like especially when the influencers are trying to sell you things, they're
yeah.
like, "Oh, you're trying to make a quick buck."
Mhm.
When people start flip flopping on topics, like they're either for or against. Case in point, remember when like they were trying to ban TikTok and people were crying like, "Oh my God, TikTok's ending," and then TikTok's back, and then like, where's that crying? Like, why did you do all that performance?
Yes.
Everybody's acting on this social media, and it's like no one has originality. Well, people do have originality. That's a wrong way of saying it, but it's like it's okay to be yourself and not and follow bandwagons because like sometimes people take followers to the literal T. Like they
Yeah.
follow what the person's doing.
Yes. That's a good point because I feel as well like, there's people who wake up every day and they want to be like something that they're not. And so they tend to live like a nostalgic lifestyle and be like, okay, since I can't exactly be like you, I'm going to pretend,
Hmm.
you know? Like I see people drive like fancy cars. I don't want to do that. That's not me. I'm not like a fancy type. I'm not a fancy type of person, you know? I'm more so of like, I like to watch people like how they build and how they grow, how they make money. Okay? Because this is we live in a money making era. I'm trying to figure out how to make some money. Okay, I'm trying to figure out. Like, I literally sit here and watch other people's podcasts and take notes and take views and bring it back to my podcast. You
Hmm.
know, I don't do plagiarism. I don't ever take like their idea, anything like that. I take like, you know, how they do stuff, how they coordinate, how they talk to each other, how like they have like, the brief like breaks in between, they promote stuff. I take stuff like that. You want to take like the bare minimum. Now, like I said, everybody's doing a podcast. It's so copy and paste that no one is doing it like how we're doing it. If we try different stuff, always do try to like when you do stuff, try to like have your own little flair to it. You know,
Hmm.
try to make it like your own little thing because you don't want to like be a copy and paste because then nobody's not going to watch your stuff.
But then you also can tell the ones that who use AI to do their content because even with social media, they have content, they're like content heavy. And it's like, when do you give time to people to digest your work? And everyone wants to be relevant, everybody wants to be fast, everybody jump on the latest gossip or this new trend, but is it really who you are? Um, and that's when it comes to discernment coming what you're digesting and what you're trying to say to have a like what are you trying to say to people. um I know we're great with our content because it's just conversations like we normally do when we're offline, and like people enjoy a different perspective, and I'm glad we have different perspective on things. We don't agree with everything. Well, there's always pushback, there's always curiosity to dig deeper and like why do you think that way and stuff like that.
That is true. And I also love that like, we could be ourselves. That's like the biggest thing is being yourself, you know? And I want people to understand, like sometimes you have to put an extra persona out there that might not even be you. Like I'd be trying to tell people like how I be, that's not me. That's not me trying. That's me if you get me mad. If you get me mad, you get that Joash. And you might also get a shoe or something thrown at your head. But that's not me like, all 24 like 24/7. That's not me, you know? Like
Are you-
I get people be like, oh, gee, you act like I want to talk to you, but I don't know if you got ratchet in public. I don't act ratchet in public. I've never like, bitch, I'm so sophisticated, you won't even know
Girl,
because
you shy.
I you're right, I'm shy.
you
But
you're demure.
yes, no, I'm not demure. Let me think of it. Like demure is like how you carry yourself. And I carry myself very classy, very ratchet. I carry myself to suit my environment wherever I'm around.
Mhm.
You know? Might go to a restaurant and go to the club. Can't be like, how you want the restaurant and the club? Because, you know, I'm not demure. I'm just me, you know?
I ain't got no coof. Let's be clear. What you see is what you get. I ain't got no coof. So I fall out in public. I don't give a fuck.
Oh my God.
I, I'm rough.
Oh my gosh. But it's really and truly like I don't really understand like the whole aspect of like, like growing and learning, because I'm still growing and learning. I'm still learning like, who I am as a person and who I want to be and where I want to be in life, you know. You don't really like people be like, oh yeah, I'm 30, I know what I do and what I want to be. You don't know, you ain't touch the brink of like your possibilities. Okay. I thought the career that I was in now is what I really wanted to be for the rest of my life. Whole time I did this and I want to do a switch over to like, into like podcasting.
Hmm.
Cause I have the knack for it. I understand it and I get it. You know? I always tell people don't sell yourself short. Because if you sell yourself short, you're never gonna know who you are as a person, your true personality, your true prosperity as a person.
Hmm.
Because you don't say, okay, this is all I can do and this is all I'm going to do in life. And then months down the road, you're like, oh my gosh, I hate life. I hate doing this. I hate waking up. I hate da, 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 da. You're because you never understood your true potential.
That's how you get a midlife crisis.
Yeah, that's how you have mental breakdowns and crash outs.
Yeah.
You know?
Like for me, like I'm always constantly, because quiet as kept, I can't keep a job to save my life. But like uh with that, it requires to learning how to pivot, learning how to see what you're made out of.
Mhm.
It requires sacrifice, doing things you don't want to do, and you be stuck in survival mode. But once you get out of survival mode, and begin to thrive, is a whole different feeling. But you don't know who you are until you grow, until you change, whether you're forced or you choose to. I prefer to choose change than versus being forced to change, because I tell people, when it comes to change, you got to choose your mode of transportation. Either you're going to fly to your destination, walk, fly, boat, whatever, or you're going to be dragged, and you don't want to be dragged to your
Right.
destination, because it's not going to be fun. You're going to get there, but it won't be a pleasant ride. So,
I feel as though life does drag us. We just don't know. I feel like I was just saying that I feel as though like life drags us. We just don't know. We don't realize it. You
you'll
know?
know when you're being dragged.
No, like seriously, like life drags us and we just don't know. The reason why I say that is because like we be going through some stuff and we be like, oh, this is just a moment. I'm gonna shake this off. It's still happening. You're being dragged. Life is dragging you. You know, I'll be trying to tell people life is getting harder. You gotta like figure out like where you fit in, where you going, what you're doing, what's your goal, what's your plan. You can't just keep going through life. Whatever. I like people who go through life like that. There really is like people go through like that. Their parents never told them no. I had a Caribbean mom, so I always got told no. Now, if you ask me, I'm gonna slap you across the head. I learned that like there's a lot of people there who throw tantrums, who act like those people who throw tantrums and who act foolish. It's because their parents never told them no.
Or here's the thing. So
Uh-huh.
there's life when life is handed to you
Mhm.
and you don't have to struggle. Like, oh, if I need something, it's gonna happen. But then there are times in life when one of those where you're either going to be a victim of circumstances or you're going to be proactive. And at one point in my life, I was a victim of circumstance because like I did what I was supposed to do, but it didn't work out. I was like, but I did X, Y, and Z. How come it didn't? Why did I get something else when I put in this formula? But then I learned it's like if you want something, you got to be proactive. And then when you're proactive, that means you just can't sit idly by. You got to be on top of things. And some people don't know how to be on top of things.
Yes.
And that's something I still have to, work. That's a learning
Yeah,
thing for me.
I will agree. You still have to work on it because there's times I would get on you and be like, okay, we have a deadline. We gotta do
Okay,
this.
see
We gotta
what we
go. We
not
gotta
gonna
go. We gotta
do.
go. We
We
have
ain't
to
gonna
go. We have to
dogpile.
go.
That's
Time is
that's
money.
that's
Money is
not what
time.
we're gonna
Time is of
do.
the essence.
Because
No.
I'm not the only
Wait,
one who
you
needs to
just
be
want to.
reminded.
Well, you just want to
Because
lay
like
down
I
and just
show up at
relax
the
and not
designated
act like
time.
nothing's
So
going
what we're
through.
not gonna
Yes.
do
Yes.
is do this
And he wants to
this
sit here
be
and act like
shit.
life is not life
Yeah.
is just what I'm about. I'm like,
Mm,
girl, you gotta get up and get something, girl. Go up, go wash your body
I
and
don't
get
know.
to start the day. Okay? Roll that body off the bed. I'm proud of him though, because he's sticking to something, he's actually doing it. The exercising and the working out. I'm proud of him for that. You
Thank
know,
you.
give you your thanks for that.
Thank you.
But we still want you to be focused.
Well,
I think you lack focus because you became
bro,
so
I got
comfortable in your
undiagnosed ADHD, so leave me alone. I'm doing
no,
my
bitch, you
best.
got all this. You got
I'm doing my best.
I hate your Americans always putting shit on yourselves. Calm down, shut up, shut up. You got nothing. You ain't got nothing going on. But the work of the devil. Shut your ass up. That's the devil. Starts putting shit on yourself. Oh, I got what is it? What is it called? What you always got?
What?
What you always got that somebody said it got what is what the white people always got?
Oh, ADHD?
No, not ADHD girl. Um when they be having mental breakdowns.
Oh, depression?
No, not depression. Anxiety. Oh my
Oh,
God, y'all be killing me with that. I'll be like, shut up. Oh, get out. Go. Just go. Just go. You don't have anxiety. You just don't know how to handle problems because everything has been handed to you on a silver platter. Shut your ass up. Everything has been handed to you, so now you have to work for something. Oh God, I got anxiety. Oh God, something's happening to me. Nothing is happening to you. You just don't know how to handle problems. Let me tell you something. I'll be having real life problems. I'll be having to solve that shit. Because if I don't solve it, bitch, it's gonna stay there and it's gonna keep festering.
yeah.
Okay,
That's
it's gonna keep festering. So I'm not gonna say, "Oh my God, I have anxiety. Oh my gosh, I can't do it. Oh God, no, I have to get up and get some." So I say this today to tell y'all, get up and get where you gotta go. Because if you don't, you're gonna let life pass you by,
mhm.
and you're just gonna be at the wayside.
Be proactive.
Be proactive, and
Yeah, you
I
big boy
always say,
panties.
I guess I gotta go. I guess it's time to go. I gotta let you go. I gotta let you go.
You
I must. You're the only thing
are
that's holding me down. Because I'm the only thing that's holding me down.
true, true.
Okay?
Stand up.
I gotta let you go. I
Stand
must.
up.
I gotta let you go. I must because I'm the only thing that's holding me down.
Okay,
And
stand.
you ain't holding me down, so I gotta hold me down. Be quick to always know you can move on and be your better person in life and be a better aspect of anything in life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Word.
that was on my mind to
Preach.
share. I don't know who needed to hear this, but it was for you. The God sent me